Hi, and welcome to 647, 6 stories for 7 a.m. because there's a famine of truth in our land, and this is your quick news fix. And the truth starts now. So listen, all the tweens and teens are saying, what's the 6-7? Well, this is better than the 6-7. This is the 6-4-7, and the Tapas Bar is open, and it's Monday. Let's go. Tapas 1, the Think Global Conference with Mike Pence on C-SPAN. You don't get more exciting than that, right? It's just amazing. And the Think Global Conference, well, this is about the haves and the have-nots, right? So that's a good Christian foundation for Mikey, right? Globalists. It's ridiculous. So, hey, Mikey, he likes it. Of course he likes it because he's going to be one of the haves. So on C-SPAN, in the midst of this droning conversation, everything anti-Trump, the moderator asked Mikey Pence if he would consider another run for president. And guess what Mikey says? I don't know about what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. You know, that kind of canned crap out of Christians just bugs me, right? I don't know what the future holds, but I know who holds the future. Yeah, hold this, Mike. Get out of here. All right, take 2. Tapas Bar offering from the chef. This is a good one. It's called the Shawnee. Guess who Shawnee is? Well, Shawnee is what we're finding out about the J6 pipe bomber, because inquiring minds want to know. Shawnee, a former Capitol Police officer, a forensic match to the Jan 6 pipe bomber. That's some scary stuff. The way you walk, right? AI is taking that apart with a quantum computer and can match you to other people. So that tells me, okay, I'm not impressed with AI. If I'm going to plant a pipe bomb, I'm going to come up with a fake gait. You know what I'm talking about? Mr. Dillon, I'll be limping up and down the street yelling that stuff. Try to figure that one out, AI. All right, so Shawnee has been identified. Guess what? They knew about her for a long time because this is all baked in the cake. This is Nancy's pandemic. So what are we talking about here? We have to prove it all legally, but we all know what the deal is. The 94% Gait match to Shawnee Kirchhoff looks far more damning when you realize the FBI traced the pipe bomber to the house right next door to hers just within days of January 6th. Investigators linked that address to both a Metro card used by the suspect and a vehicle that picked up the bomber on January 5th. Then the FBI reportedly pulled agents, including Kyle Seraphim, off the lead. That looks like a cover-up. Well, I don't know if it's a cover-up, but I'll tell you, that pipe bomb being out there, we almost lost Kamala. Only Big Nancy knew that Kamala was safe. Let's get Big Nan and Kamala under oath. Popcorn, that's what I'm talking about. Muy muchos popcorn. The FBI under Ray got Shawnee's address and shut the whole thing down. Shut the popcorn up. That's all I got to say. Chef's final offering for you folks today. Tapas 3. The Supreme Court on Wednesday raised questions about whether an emergency law gives Trump near limitless power to set and change duties on imports. So here's the Orange Roughies response. I'm going to do the Queen's voice because I got so much popular praise for that, and nobody got my bit at the end of that thing. Kareem, I'm not doing it again. Okay, you people disappointed me. So let's get this straight. The President of the United States is allowed and fully approved by Congress to stop all trade with a foreign country, which is far more onerous than a tariff, and license a foreign country, but is not allowed to put a simple tariff on a foreign country, even for purposes of national security. This is what Trump said on Truth Social. That is not what our great founders had in mind. The whole thing is ridiculous. Other countries can tariff us, but we can't tariff them. It is their dream. Businesses are pouring into the USA only because of tariffs. Has the United States Supreme Court not been told this? What the hell is going on? These are Trump's words. I'm not making this stuff up. I'm not riffing. That's it. That's all we need to know about that. Take two. Take two. Denmark in the lead on something that makes sense? An EU country full of goofballs? Oh, apologies, Jess. Denmark is doing something great. They are banning social media to anyone under 15. Denmark's government on Friday announced an agreement to ban access to social media for anyone under 15. Listen up, Molly, they're coming for your phone. Ratcheting up pressure on big tech platforms as concerns grow that kids are getting too swept up in a digitized world of harmful content and commercial interests. The move would give some parents, after a specific assessment, the right to let their children have access to social media from age 13. Don't you love it? They started to do something good, and then they had to have a carve out for their special pals. Some parents, after a specific assessment, like you're in the right party, you make the right comments, you know, we're getting to the Chinese thing everywhere. It's ridiculous. Politicians just cannot get it right. It wasn't immediately clear how such a ban would be enforced. Many tech platforms already restrict preteens from signing up. Officials and experts say such restrictions don't always work. Yeah, because you do carve-outs. Such a measure would be among the most sweeping steps yet by a European Union government to limit use of social media among teens and younger children, which has drawn concerns in many parts of an increasingly online world. Speaking to the Associated Press, Caroline Stage, Denmark's Minister for Digital Affairs, said children under age 13 have profiles on at least one social media platform. Guess what, baby? They got profiles in Beijing, all right? All these kids everywhere, they're addicted to TikTok, and it's ruining their brains. They have the attention span of a gnat. And what does it fill their brains with? Anything they can use? No. And everyone says, oh, there's so much great stuff on TikTok. At what cost? Nobody's thinking. Okay? Are you comfortable with the Brotherhood of Benevolent Billionaires and the Chinese Communist Party using AI to profile and manipulate tweeners? Tweeners and teens. They're all completely manipulated by this. We're going to see in 50 years, everybody's going to have this stoop neck. No one's going to be able to look up. It's going to be ridiculous. All right. Done with that. Take three. Elise Stefanik launches a bid for governor of New York. She is going to challenge Kathy the Ganef Hochul. Good on you, Elise. You know what? You took it on the chin when Trump reshuffled things. You were going to be the ambassador to the UN. And he said, nope, I need you to stay in the Congress. Everybody's too weak. Got some strong women in the Congress. So, Elise, Trump is going to back you on this, and I believe it's going to work. Rep. Elise Stefanik, Republican of New York, former chair of the House Republican Conference, officially launched her campaign for governor of New York Friday, framing the race as a fight to rescue the state from what she calls economic collapse and public safety failures under Democrat Governor Kathy the Ganef Hochul's leadership. It's not leadership. It's a target-rich environment for Kathy. So Stefanik portrayed New York as a state in decline, citing high taxes, soaring utility and grocery costs, and a surge in crime as central issues that demand immediate and transformative leadership. She said the Empire State has fallen. Stefanik's announcement emphasized a bipartisan appeal, never going to happen, asserting that her campaign would unite Democrats, Republicans, and independents. You're going to have to include a new group now, okay? And that's insane, Muslim, Marxist, Maoist, mama's boys, because you're going to have to deal with one. To reverse course in the state, I am running for governor to make New York affordable and safe for all, Stefanik wrote on X. It's time to fire Hochul, save New York. Save New York? You know what New York just did? They took a gas can and poured it all over themselves and lit up a smoke. Poof. That's where they went. Just one thing, Elise. Can you say Zoran? You better get used to it. You're going to be asking him for cooperation. He's going to go, nah, like that. All right, take 4, air travel. The Federal Aviation Administration, the FAA, for those of you who hate all of these acronyms, it's how you have to report this stuff. The FAA has ordered 40 airports this week to phase in a 10% reduction in domestic flights starting on last Friday amid air traffic controller fatigue spurred by the ongoing government shutdown. Could you just say what it is? They're not being paid, okay? And these are people with bills. And so they're taking second jobs and they're calling in sick. What else are they going to do? All the Republican congressmen and senators and the Dems, they're all being paid and they're not doing dick. All right, several airlines have already announced that they will be reducing their flights at airports nationwide, including United Airlines, American Airlines, and Delta. We're trying to be really thoughtful about where those flights come out, United's chief customer officer David Kinzelman told CBS News. Sorry, I missed that interview. The key for customers to avoid being stranded, customers need a strategy now to not be stranded, is early action, early communication. What a joke. That's why we're getting ahead of the curve now and proactively putting in our cancellations for today, for the next several days, to give customers time to plan ahead. Yeah, customers already planned ahead for the holidays. They bought all their tickets. You clowns, now what are you going to do? You're going to do what you always do. Give the worst customer service in the world, because as a government supplemented industry, you don't have live people to talk to. When you got a problem, you got to go through all kinds of computer nonsense, and you never get satisfaction. The flight reductions will begin at 4% on Friday, then 6% on Veterans Day, the 11th, 8% by November 13th, and 10% by November 14th, right? And we're still a distance from Turkey Day, the most highly traveled holiday in the United States. So here are the 40 airports that will see flight reductions. Ready? Get your gel pens ready. Anchorage, Hartsfield, Atlanta, Boston Logan, Baltimore International in Maryland, Charlotte Douglas, Chicago Midway, Chicago O'Hare, Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, Dallas Fort Worth, Dallas Love Field, Denver International, Detroit Metropolitan, Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood International, George Bush, Houston International, Hartsfield, Jackson, Atlanta, Honolulu International, Houston Hobby, Indianapolis, Las Vegas, Harry Reid, Las Vegas International, Louisville, Muhammad Ali, Memphis International, Miami International, Minneapolis, St. Paul International, LaGuardia, JFK, Newark, Oakland, San Francisco, Ontario International, Orlando International, Philadelphia International, Phoenix Sky Harbor, Portland International, Ronald Reagan, Washington, San Diego International, Salt Lake City International, San Francisco, Seattle Tacoma, Tampa International, Teterboro, and Washington Dulles International. Happy hunting. Note, in the case of a water landing, your life vest is under your seat. Put it on, place the hose in your mouth, and blow. Just keep blowing. Keep blowing until you're tired of this deplorable crap. Go ahead, just keep blowing. Blow this. All right, take 5. Former CIA Director Brennan, ex-FBI officials Strzok and Page subpoenaed in probe of Russian hoax. And guess what? That's 3 subpoenas. By the end of this week, there are going to be 30 subpoenas. And John Solomon says by the end of the year, there are going to be 150 subpoenas. These clowns are going down. So everybody who's been impatient and saying, I hate Pam Bondi, she lied to us, you know what? I don't know why it takes so long. You know what? Tulsi dumped this stuff on them in July. And here it is, November, right? And the subpoenas are going out. I don't like anything about our legal system. It all needs to be burned down and redone. It was never supposed to be like this. But you know what? It is what it is. They get paid by the hour. Hourly people don't hustle. A federal grand jury has issued subpoenas to former Central Intelligence Agency, CIA, Director John lying my ass off Brennan, former Federal Bureau of Investigation FBI agent Peter Strzok, and former FBI lawyer Lisa Page, the Romeo and Juliet of psychopaths, marking an escalation in a federal investigation. Now, hold on a second. This is an escalation. Tulsi gave you the goods in July, and the subpoenas just are going out in November. Listen, something. This is low gear we're experiencing here, just grinding along slowly. All right? Maybe I'll give you, we're getting up to second gear, but this Department of Justice semi-tractor has a 10-speed transmission in it, right? And it's supposed to be pulling tandem trailers, one filled with kleptomaniac Republicans and Democrats from the Senate first, then the Congress, and the second one behind it is supposed to be filled with psychopathic Dems and Republicans. This is not an escalation. This is like watching a street sweeper. Man. So the federal grand jury has subpoenaed former CIA Director John Lying my ass off, Brennan. Former FBI Peter Strzok, Lisa Page. I don't know why they repeat this, right? Because of TikTok. You have to repeat things over and over again because nobody can pay attention. It is part of the Justice Department's investigation into the origins of the Trump-Russia probe. Sources say the trio were served with federal subpoenas today, okay? Last Friday. Nice weekend for these folks. I believe they're still so arrogant that they don't believe anything is actually going to touch them. You know what? The Navy SEALs say slow is smooth and smooth is fast. But at this pace, we will need Trump in 28, JD and the new missus in 2032, Marco in 2036, just to process the burn bags that Cash has found. How's that going to work? By that time, I'll be 82 and 6 years into the Great Reset, eating cat food and owning nothing und loving it, according to that goofball, who, thank God, is gone. Let's continue. Strzok is also alleged to have intervened to prevent the FBI from closing its investigation into retired Army Lieutenant General Michael Flynn, Trump's first national security advisor. And guess what? This is how they got Flynn. They got some stupid, they ask his son a bunch of questions, get him confused. He answers wrong on one. They go, oh, we got you. You perjured. We're going to put you in jail forever. And then they tell Pops, hey, give it up, or we're going to put your son away. Nice people, Lisa and Peter. I hope this all works out great for you. Lisa Page, who previously testified before Congress in 2018, arrogantly stated that investigators had not found significant evidence of collusion between the Trump 2016 campaign and the Russian government when Robert half-dead Mueller was appointed special counsel. During that testimony, Page noted that Strzok privately, I guess it was privately, they're having an affair and they were both married, admitted to her having doubts about the case based on their text exchanges. And that's all going to get opened up and we are going to see. All right, that's the end of that. We don't need more of that. We need to see leg irons. All right. Well, this is a whole new arms study, which is normally advanced reprobate mind study, but today it's arrogant, rich, megalomaniac spectrum, folks. That's what ARMS means today. Lying to our faces. Let's go. Genetically engineered babies are banned. Tech titans are trying to make one anyway. So listen to this first sentence, because there are 7 things that blow my head up, and that's only halfway through the sentence. So here we go. We're being honest now about what's going on with genetically altered infants. Backed by OpenAI chief executive Sam Altman, boing, and his husband, boing, along with Coinbase, boing, co-founder and CEO, boing, Brian Armstrong, boing, and the startup called Preventive, boing, has been quietly preparing, double boing. These guys lie so bad, they can't even get the first sentence without totally sending moi into the stratosphere. 7 Q's and a half sentence. Your hair should be standing on end. All right. So Brian Armstrong, the CEO of the startup called Preventive, has been quietly preparing what would amount to a biological first. Oh, that gives it credibility. It's a first. There's all kinds of things that you don't want to do as a first, okay? They are working toward creating a child born from an embryo edited. It's a nice term, right? Edited. Doesn't sound too invasive. Doesn't sound like an effing Frankenstein epic. Born from an embryo edited to prevent a hereditary disease. You see, we're just doing this because we care. We're the Brotherhood of Benevolent Billionaires. We just care so much. In recent months, executives at the company privately said a couple with a genetic disease, when you love to meet them, a couple with a genetic disease had been identified who was interested in participating, according to people familiar with the conversations. Can't nail anything on any of that. We will sacrifice our embryo child for money, attention from elites, and pagan worship of AI genetics. Count us in. Wow. These people are so sick. Gene editing technologies now in use for treatment after birth allow scientists to cut, edit, and insert DNA, but using the process in sperm, eggs, or embryos is far more controversial and has prompted calls by scientists for a global moratorium until the ethical and scientific questions get resolved. That's why these jerk-offs are moving full speed ahead, on the sly, editing genes in embryos with the intention of creating babies from them is banned in the US and many countries, but not if you're rich and not if you pay off politicians. You do whatever the hell you want. And that's what preventive is doing, right? So preventive has been searching for places to experiment. This is all total BS. This thing is a complete lie. Some freak has already been scheduled with a C-section to deliver Frankie. Who knows? Maybe he'll have a taste for gay or misfit billionaires. I hope so. Many experts worry that the science is too unpredictable to be safe. They're so worried about that they incorporated in May and quietly raised $30 million in a first round, okay? Private investment. It's very quiet. It's on the sly because, you know, we don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. Bunch of lying bastards, okay? The science is too unpredictable to be safe and could usher in a new era of human experimentation by private companies without public or government input or debate. Some also raise the specter of eugenics. You think so? They only openly talk about it at the World Economic Forum. We have to. Billy Gates, Rockin' Billy, what's the number? Oh, we got to get it down to about 500 million. Yeah, from billions, we got to get the number down to 500 million so we can live with genetically altered humans who are not like these deplorables, and the robots will, well, they'll do everything. It's going to be wonderful. But we just have to murder a whole lot of people. You know, that's why we're trying to keep this on the down low. That's where we're quietly raising it, and we use words like cut, edit, insert DNA, quietly, eugenics. You don't want to raise the specter of eugenics. It's all you're associated with, you freaks. There is only one known instance of children being born from edited embryos. Guess where it happened? In 2018, Chinese scientist He Jiankui shocked the world. He shocked the world with news that he had produced 3 children genetically altered as embryos to be immune to HIV. None of that's true. I believe he did alter 3 embryos and they took those kids all the way to birth. HIV, they're just playing with your heartstrings here. That's old news. He was sentenced to prison in China for 3 years for the illegal practice of medicine. Never would happen, ever. They want a whole million-man army of freaks who don't feel pain, don't think critically, and just do what they're told. They got a whole plan, right? So who knows where this guy is? Most of the time they snuff these guys because they can't afford them talking about what's really going on. So these 3 kids, no one's ever seen a picture of them, but they're healthy, according to the CCP. They're healthy, and we punished that guy, and we were just trying to solve HIV, which is a big problem in China, right? No, they're making fun of us with this stuff. Those kids are healthy, like, what's the guy's name? Who cares? He's not healthy. He's not even breathing. Who knows what kind of shape those kids are in? Free or even breathing. Let's see a group shot, right? A group shot. Let's see the scientists and the 3 kids all smiling and having a great time in Beijing. Never going to see it, right? Everybody's lying in this thing because it is so off. It's so bad. It is so anti-God. It is so just vaguely veiled in, you know what? There are genetic diseases, and we could possibly alter people to be able to solve that problem. Yeah, there's always a good application, right? That's about 10%. The other 90 is a complete freak show, global annihilation because you people are psychopaths with too much money. And the government needs to intervene because you won't. You're lying through this whole thing. But we're not lying, right? I'm telling you the truth. I need you to like us, share us, make comments, push us out to your network. And you know what? God doesn't like this. We shouldn't like this. We need to be praying to him that this stuff will be squashed. Okay? They're not going to do it. They got too much money and time. They got nothing but freak show stuff in mind. We need the almighty God of the universe to put his hand over this and put a stop to it. But it's Monday, Lord. Please, please. You bless me all the time, and I'm rotten. These people are great. They're striving. Please, dear God, bless them on this Monday to kick off the week. God bless you, and thank you for coming.